Hey, world history students, how are you doing? We're going to start class today. I'm not here, but let me tell you exactly where I am. Today, I am actually at my wife's graduation. You see her down there? Hey, how you doing? So, at my wife's graduation, she is getting her master's degree from the University of Minnesota today, which I'm extremely proud of. So I'm with her, and we're going to go out as a family afterwards to celebrate. That's why I'm not in class today. And I'm as proud of her as your families are going to be when you guys walk across the stage for graduation, for high school, college, and all the other successes that you're going to have. So let's begin our class today with our do now and take out document number 1 on your test ticket. And our amazing teacher who's filling in for us today is going to make sure that those get passed out. If a couple of you want to help out, let's make sure everyone gets a copy of this test ticket. Go to document number 1 and make sure it gets passed out. Once it is passed out, you may start scapping document 1. So let's take between 2 to 3 minutes to scap it, and you may use your homework from last night, your note packet here, which you should take out, and use that for homework all the way up to part 2 of the French Revolution, so pages 1, 2, and 3. You may use that for some context on this document. So go ahead and take a couple minutes to do that on your own, and our awesome teacher can pause this, walk around, and see how you guys are doing. All right, now that you've had a few minutes to scap our document, let's get together in your regular groups and compare and share your answers. Make sure that you get all of this filled out. So let's take about 2 minutes to compare and share in your regular work groups to get that done. Go ahead, you may begin now. And now our awesome teacher who's helping out, if you could find 4 people, first person to do speaker, call on them, then context, audience, and purpose. Go ahead and call on 4 people who want to volunteer and to read their answers out loud. If no one volunteers, go ahead and pick someone randomly. It's okay. Just pick that person and have them do it. All right, go ahead. Speaker, context, audience, and purpose. Let's get 4 people to share these out loud. All right, that is our first document that we're going to have, and this also could be on our multiple choice test like the test you just took on Monday. So let's get ahead here. Our chapter is Enlightenment and Revolution. That is our chapter. Oh, let me get out of the way there. Sorry about that. Our objective is, in the periods 1750 to 1900, there were many challenges to social structures and governments that led to rebellions and revolutions around the world. People get mad. And let's explain what transformations happened in the world because of rebellions from 1750 to 1900. We're going to look at a few of those. All right, today we scap document 1, which is about the Enlightenment, which we went over. And now we're going to step into the French Revolution, where we're going to do some readings on that in a video. And let's take a look at our homework real quick. On your plan that you guys all have, your schedule, if we look at Wednesday, we've already done document number 1. We are going to take your packets out right now, and we are going to stop at the French Revolution hits the streets, the Bastille, and the Great Fear. So flip in your packet to page number 5. And that is right here. I'll just put a little star by that or something that says stop here. That is the homework that you need to have by Friday when you walk into this classroom. And I get to see you guys again. You get to see this handsome face. All right, let's move ahead. Okay, plan for the day. We don't normally do this, but we're going to watch a video together in this packet. And then the rest of it will be time where you can work in class if we have time. And there's also a ticket out that is planned. And then the rest of that up to page 5 where we just talked about will be your homework. But let's get into the video. So flip back to page 4 where it says the French Revolution History Channel DVD right here on page 4. At 7:50 is where we're going to start. Ignore this. Begin watching at 3:30. I should erase that. Boom, gone. All right. Oh, it's not gone in yours, is it? Damn. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Let's start at 7:50 here, and we're going to watch this together. And for this first part, get ready to take notes on. Name some of the problems that were occurring in France before the Revolution.
The grand wedding gala continues for days. But outside the gates of Versailles, there is hardly cause for celebration. Years of mismanagement by the monarchy have left the French people deprived and hungry. Nearly a decade earlier, King Louis XV lost the 7 Years' War. Battle battling Great Britain over territory in North America. The ill-fated conflict all but bankrupted France of money and prestige, leaving the country's coffers drained, even as its population is growing bigger every day. With diseases like the plague a distant memory, fewer people are dying, but more and more of them are hungry.
France grew from 20 million to 26 million in the 18th century after having grown only 1 million in the preceding 2 centuries. That put tremendous strain on what was there, and so there was a lot of anxiety.
All right, go ahead and take a minute and turn and talk with your partners and discuss in your groups. Name some of the problems that were occurring in France before the Revolution. And our awesome teacher, give them about a minute or so to talk about it, and then we'll move ahead to the next part of the video. All right, now let's go look at our next part, which is explain what impact the Enlightenment had on Paris and France. So really focusing on what did the Enlightenment do in Paris and France. Don't worry about every detail. If you can, just get the big picture of the notes.
Swept up on a current of innovation and new literature, Paris now radiates as the philosophical center of the world. The city pulses with a great flourishing of knowledge, a shining beacon of possibility. It is the age of enlightenment.
The Enlightenment is a movement which says don't trust authority, don't trust anything that you've been told by anybody else at all, think it out for yourself, test it for yourself.
In old regime Europe, you were told what to think. You were given information from above by your rulers, by your priests. And so the idea that you could map out all of human knowledge and then have access to it was revolutionary.
In elite salons across Paris, aristocrats gathered to discuss Enlightenment authors and the burgeoning age of reason. Voltaire, Rousseau, fresh voices who champion liberty, control of one's own destiny, and above all, equality. The passion for this new literature is highest among the upper class, but as Enlightenment ideas take root at all levels of society, the drive for equality will begin to threaten the aristocratic way of life.
What makes it dangerous is it means you will eventually question, why are aristocrats the ones with privilege? Can't we change the world to make it a better place? Isn't progress possible? All of that will eventually undermine the idea that monarchy is natural, aristocracy is natural, and hierarchy is natural.
Okay, once again, in your groups, compare and share what you have for the question. Explain what impact the Enlightenment had on Paris and France. And go ahead and begin. All right, everybody, now we're going to move on to our next part of the video, and this is going to be on Marie Antoinette. And in this part, explain details about the ceremonies and the life at Versailles, and focus on Marie Antoinette and just how much money she's spending. She is the queen of France at this time, who's definitely not very popular.
While Louis sends money and troops across the Atlantic, Marie is busy incurring debts of her own. Life at Versailles is a never-ending routine of archaic ritual and formality. There are ceremonies for the waking of the king and queen, for dressing, for dining, for retiring to bed. To keep herself amused amidst the ritual drudgery, Marie Antoinette presides over a parade of increasingly outrageous fashions.
Marie was obsessed with fashion, especially these towering hairdos that were several feet high, that took hours and hours in the construction and fit all sorts of ornaments and fruits, and to many people they seemed like an obscenity. They came to represent what was all that was wrong with her and with Versailles and that culture.
Marie occupies herself with court gossip, gambling, and the staging of plays. As her expenses accumulate, Marie earns the nickname Madame Deficit.
Marie is given the name Madame Deficit as the country is in economic chaos, and she continues to spend as if nothing's happened on dresses and jewels and shoes, and she was the Imelda Marcos of her day.
All right, go ahead in your groups, compare and share what you got for notes about details about the ceremony and life at Versailles, especially on Marie Antoinette. Some details, but the bigger picture, what's going on, is when you focus on with these notes. Go ahead. All right, everybody. Let's look at our last question here, and it is, how'd the weather of 1788-89 and the price of bread affect the revolution? These are pretty big factors, weather and the price of bread.
But his misguided interfering burdens the poor with heavy taxes, while the nobility pay hardly at all. With the economy in ruins and the people restless, it seems as if even the heavens are angry, smiting France with the most bitterly cold winter in 90 years.
If ever God intervened to make a situation worse, the summer of 1788 and the spring of 1789 is a moment when that happens. By the summer of 1788, you already have a burgeoning political crisis, and it's developing against a background of very serious food shortage.
For the people of France in the 18th century, flour is the essence of life itself. Bread, the measure of existence.
Most ordinary people in France ate at least 2 pounds a day of bread. Bread was all important. Its price was immediately felt by everyone. If the price doubled, you were in big trouble.
Under Louis's financial mismanagement, the cost of flour skyrockets. Sparse food supplies are hoarded. The cost of a loaf of bread soon equals a month's earnings. Hunger turns to rage. Riots break out across France. Homes are robbed. Bakeries are raided. Shopkeepers suspected of stockpiling bread are lynched on the spot.
All right, so in your groups, go ahead and compare and share the last question. How did the weather of 1788 and 89 affect the price of bread in the Revolution? All right, great work on the video, everybody, and thanks for our awesome teacher for giving us a hand, stepping up, and helping out. A million thanks. Let's take the rest of the class time, and you guys can work on your homework. You know where to get to if you look at your schedule, and if you want to, you can even work ahead a little bit so you know what is due on Friday, when I will see you guys again. So go ahead, be awesome, and I'll see you guys on Friday.